has begun, and they have steamrolled into Russian-occupied Ukraine by a whopping 1,400,000 millimeters, or 1,400 meters, 1,400 meters, which is 1.4 kilometers, or to put it in terms most of us Americans understand, somewhere between 8.2 and 8.3 miles. The 0.8, excuse me, 0.82 to 0.83 miles. So as the last report, the last article I seen, they've not made it a mile anywhere yet. So supposedly they're charging in around Bakhmut and several other regions in the Zaporizhia region, but they've not made a lot of progress yet. They've not exactly broken the Russian line, and they're taking some pretty heavy tolls. Maybe they're inflicting heavy tolls too. There's a lot of claims and counterclaims on both sides of this, as you would expect, given the level of propaganda and the fog of war. Now, that doesn't mean that their offensive is wasted, because, you know, sometimes things don't go so hot to begin with, and maybe they'll break the line and push through. Maybe not. This is yet to be seen. But as I mentioned in my live cast last night, there's the Monday, Air Defender 23 starts, the largest NATO air exercise in the history of NATO, led by the Luftwaffe of all things. I'm sure the Russians want to take great delight in that. And on top of all that, there's that meeting coming up in Vilnius, which some NATO members have said that, you know, if NATO don't, you know, go in here and do certain things for Ukraine, that certain NATO nations just going to unilaterally step in and join Ukraine fray, which might get them counterattacked on, which might invoke Article 5, which might pull us in anyway. Yikes, guys. We're going to look at this, and we're going to look at French President Macron and some of the things he had to say. And yeah, I'm not so fond of him, as you might guess. So we're going to cover a lot of stuff here tonight. So buckle up. There's a lot of material to cover. A lot of things are going down all around. So I'm not going to waste any more time. We're going to go straight into some of these articles and having some discussion about the various sundry things popping. So let's do a screen share. Bing, bing. And bear with me, guys, just in case I drop out. If I do, I will be back. I've been having some internet problems of late. So here it is. Zelensky confirms the Ukrainian counteroffensive has begun. He's broke his so-called long-time silence and say, yea, verily, we are charging into Ukrainian territory. Into so-called Russian-occupied Ukrainian territory, however you want to interpret that. I'll leave that to you. But here it is. Ukraine's army reports new gains against the Russian forces in Bakhmut. Yeah, they've made huge progress, new gains. And this is where they're talking about the 1,400 meters. That's why I had to point out is 1,400,000 millimeters, because, you know, if they're going to use a big number like that and just try to hide the fact that it's really 1.4 kilometers, which is not a mile, as I just pointed out, you got to put it in terms we understand. You know, they want to throw these units out here the way it makes it sound like they made a huge advance. Not exactly, not yet. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Time will tell. I will say this: if Ukraine does it, hey, no, got Norway in the house. Very good. I'm going to say Bandit X-ray, Middle Tennessee. All right, guys, I'm going to say this: if they don't make some very significant progress soon, I don't know about Ukraine. I tell you, time is not on their side. I've said that a lot of times here. So we'll have to see how this goes down. But, you know, we got a lot of things to be concerned about here with this war in that part of the country. And maybe when I talk about macaroni, I'm going to say why is it he taking care of all this business instead of us? Anyway, especially given the stuff he's been saying. Ukrainian counteroffensive. So this analyst group, ISW, talks about successes of the Ukrainian defenders. I don't know, guys. So again, this is pravda.com.ua. So this is the Ukrainian Pravda. Hey, Tater Morgan. Wow, we got a super chat right off the bat with a big heart. Thank you, Tater Morgan. That's a good term, Tater. I like that. That's a good one. Jeff Jeffrey Bolander's in Middle Tennessee too. Well, you're just north of me. I'm 8 miles south of Middle Tennessee here, basically. So that's about a 2 hour drive into Nashville from here. Not quite 2 hours. So to give you a notion, and once you get to Nashville, you're almost through Tennessee, right? You're almost to Kentucky. All right, guys. So here, here at this point, they only made it 1.2 kilometers, but they make it sound like smashing success. Well, they are making some progress. Of course, this was the 8th of June. So I guess from the 8th of June and today, they made it another 0.2 kilometers. Maybe they made a little bit more distance since these articles I've seen. Tater, how you doing? Thank you so much for that. All right. So let's go on here and have some gainer. What's going on here? You can see the front is really cooking everywhere. So there's a lot of bombing, a lot of shelling, all kind of things happening all around the border. But if Ukraine is going to make a difference, they got to put the bulk of their forces a spearhead and concentrate it in some point. If they spread it out like this, they're not going to do any good unless this is their way to kind of do a sleight of hand, a feint upon the other side to make them think, well, we're going here, we're going there, and then they don't know, which might be a reason why they've not made so much progress right now. As I mentioned last night, they've been hitting the heaviest defended areas that the Russians have. That's kind of like your linebacker trying to run up the middle of your quarterback trying to run up the middle of the linebackers. Fort Wayne, Indiana. Hey, that's where Bright Eyes from from Beneath the Planet of the Apes was from. Planet of the Apes. Fort Wayne, Indiana. That's how they knew he was military, because he was from a fort. I always loved that movie. And some of the analogies made. That was a lot of fun, right? Anyway, yeehaw. Springville, Utah. Very good. Stray kitten. Brian loves bacon. Who don't? Well, I guess vegetarians don't care so much about it, but that's their problem. Anyway, now here's something else to be aware of. Ukraine war. Russia says ammonia pipeline blast may end grain deal. Well, this ammonia is used to make fertilizer too, and Russia's already not exporting fertilizer, and neither is China. They've exported a lot of the key components we use in our fertilizer, and this is why we got to worry about our own crops, about food prices going up. This war proposes to have, it's had some effects, but we're having shortages in our field productions. China's having shortages in their field production. I'm told that our inventories of wheat are the lowest they've been in a couple of decades. Just to watch Steve Popper on the Popper Report. I'll give a shout out to Steve Popper. He talks about that a lot and goes into a lot of analysis on it. There's also the Yanasa channel. Sometimes he goes into that kind of stuff, guys. So we'll give some shout outs to a few other channels here. All right, guys. Bing. That's one reason you might want to think about going to prepwithgreg.com, because of all the potential shortages of food and the potential fact that our supply chain may be shattered here in a couple of months. So you better get it while the getting's good. I don't know how much longer that's going to be available. So guys, prepwithgreg.com. Right now, they still got, I don't know how they've done this without jacking the prices up and everything else is going. You still get 2,000 calories a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. A great deal for the price, guys, because this stuff will last 25 years. It's over 2,000 calories per day. And that's a lot more than a lot of the competitors offer when they can tell you how many days their stuff is. It's not that. So that's what you get, guys. And if you can't handle this, which is about what you pay in a month for your groceries, consider the 2-week supply. And that's good for some bug out applications and something you can bury in your backyard. So when they knock your door in, they won't know where it is. You still got it then. And again, like I've pointed out in the past, there's a lot of other supplies on here you can avail yourself to when you click on the My Patriot Supply. Water filtration, you better pay attention to water filtration. You might need air purification with everything going on right now, considering all the smoke from all the fires and everything else is cooking, guys. So think about it. Well, anyway, let's get on the story here. Mark Milley, well, Mr. Milli Vanilli, General Milli Vanilli, General Mills, whatever he is, cereal man. He says that Ukraine is well prepared for the counteroffensive in a war that has greater meaning for the world. Greater meaning, like what? Is that like unicorns peeping Neapolitan ice cream? I don't know. Greater meaning. What is that? So I don't know. I'm not a fan of Milli Vanilli, if you know what I mean. General Mills, whatever he is. So anyway, He's not my favorite general, if you've ever guessed. All right, so guys, here RT. This is Russia Today. This is an official magazine, website, and so forth. Why is this coming in so muted looking? This is official rag of the Russian rag here that Marguerite Simon is the chief editor of. She's a spokesperson for Vladimir Putin for what it is or isn't worth. They're talking here about film from a Bradley fighting vehicle showing Ukrainian vehicles getting shot up, and they play music, kind of like you've heard from a lot of Ukrainian stuff, and kind of a carnival-like music been played in here, and looks like they're just going through like in a carnival where you got the ducks going down in front of you and you're blinking at them with a, you know, I don't know. Looks like they're bad shots, whatever's going on. Would they be driving? Well, they're shooting way out here, actually, but there's. That got blown up. These guys are shooting between their own guys, moving between them. That's not a particularly big nug on that unit there. So, but it's a Bradley fighting vehicle. You know, they don't have the biggest cannons. So what can you say? Bing. Anyway, Zelensky says counteroffensive defensive actions taking place. Again, he's come out and started talking about it. So I'm not going to, what's this say here? But they admitted here to the AP that Ukrainian forces are taking significant losses. Now that's in the Western media. The Western media is saying that. Then you got to think there might be a little bit to what the Eastern media is saying. So they've admitted in Western media that they're paying a heavy price for this. Now, Ukraine doesn't have the reserves of troops to be able to do this for a sustained long time. That's why I said time is not on their hand. Anyway, not on their side. Now, this is a Ukrainian rag here. So I'm kind of skipping around. I'm showing you both sides of the story, guys. I'm showing you some of what both sides are having to say. How you doing, John Long? RT America was the best news show we had in America. Yeah, they had some awesome documentaries. I don't see much of RT America. Maybe you know where it's at now. That's Russia Today. It wouldn't carry stuff that you normally see on Western media. I'd say the same for Al Jazeera, Hindustan Times. There's a lot of these other magazines around the world that you can go to get different viewpoints. I showed you some articles from Hindustan Times last night. I've shown you Al Jazeera many times. All right, guys. So Russian consult. Now, this is a claim by Ukrainians. And, you know, of course, Ukrainians are going to come up with everything they can. I can't vouch for this one way or the other, but they claim that they've confirmed that by intercepting a Russian phone call that the Russians are claiming that they did the dam. Did they? I don't know. So that's what they're claiming here. But, you know, we've seen a lot of claims and counterclaims on that. There's a lot of evidence and counter evidence that both sides puts up. So for whatever it is or isn't worth, the dam's been blown and a lot of people are in a serious plight down here. I'm telling you, the area covered by these floodwaters, the devastation area-wise is greater than the devastation that you would get from a tactical nuke. So this is not trivial, guys. Banned. Oh yeah, that's one we don't see anymore. Okay, John, I get it then. I don't doubt it. Kalana Odneg, Lala, I love my worms. So you bought worms from me. Very good. So maybe I'll be selling them again, not too distant future. Now here's news. Now we're sending long-range missiles over, but Ukraine claims they are developing. Here it says develops. Yeah, their own long-range missile. Well, good luck with that. You know, reliable rockets are difficult to develop, especially if you're in a war zone and your supply chains are challenged. So are they really developing their own long-range missile? I don't know. Maybe they are. We'll just have to see what they cook up and if it's reliable. It's tough to do that. Kathleen on a what? What do you mean a what? What is a what? Jeffrey, raised beds filled with goodies. There you go, Old Town. Hey, I got videos on how to do the proper ways to do a raised bed. I've covered that in some of my videos, guys. You need to see them. I got videos on how to garden. That's stuff you need to pay attention to with all this going down. Defense forces destroy convoy of Russian vehicles in Zaporizhia Oblast. This is another Ukrainska Pravda article saying that they destroyed a whole convoy of Russian vehicles. Maybe they did. Each side makes these grandiose claims. Each side makes very grandiose claims. Sometimes there's truth in them. Sometimes it's something else. Anyway, here you are. Fire the rockets. Ukraine has NATO long-range missiles. That's one of the things that Putin said was a red line. How many of these lines do we get to cross? Great Pyrenees. That's quite a dog. Great Pyrenees. Yes, sir. Lone Star Mama. Good to see you here. Jeffrey, yeah, throw in a box of Greg's worms, and I bet you could go almost anything in a good raised bed. There you go, Jeffrey. All righty. Drone footage shows extent of damage to the Ukraine dam. Well, we've known that. We've seen a lot of footage of this already. That's probably the same drone flight. You know, they keep showing a lot of the same old footage. Yeah, that place is gone. It has been demolished. The water is dropping. That's what happened to the problem with the water intakes from the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. Unfortunately, they didn't have a lot of margin, very little margin on those intakes. Was just right above the water level. So, you know, the water level was just a little bit over 13 meters. Well, they could only tolerate it dropping to 12.7 meters. And that's above sea level. The river itself is practically at sea level, guys. Look at all these towns flooded. Look at that. And there's just 80 villages like this and towns that are just flooded out. It's huge damage. A lot of lives destroyed in this flooding. Do you live below a flood zone? I should do a video on that. How many people live below dams and flood zones? Way too many people. 5 Great Pyrenees. Well, you got a guard force. You have 5 Great Leo's houses. Oh my gosh. You got a guard force if you got 5 Great Pyrenees. Anyway, yeah, well, yeah, it's going to be the people upstream. The municipalities can't get water. The hydroelectric dam's blown, so there's no power from that or Zaporizhia. So you got power shortages, water shortages, all kind of problems. Now here we go. Look at Macaroni here standing up like a banty rooster ready to crow. Like a little banty rooster. Holy smoke. And what's he saying? Well, most Europeans share Macaroni's views on China and the U.S. Basically say, hey, we'll choose our own path. We're not going to the U.S. We're not going with China. Well, excuse me. What is this? We're sending $2.1 billion to Ukraine. Yo, Macaroni, why don't you cough that up? Why don't you cough up the money and take care of business in your backyard instead of relying on us to do it and then making those kind of claims? You know, if you're going to be crowing and like a banty rooster, you need to step up and take care of your own business in your own continent. Make sure that you don't get overrun like you did back when the Germans ran through France faster than a hot knife through warm butter. So, you know, I got some issues with this. My issues are this. My granddad fought in World War I. My dad fought in World War II. My granddad got his back injured. My granddad was a sharecropper. He had a very difficult time working the farm after he got his back injured when he came home from World War I, defending these guys' territories, this guy's ancestors. And then we had the D-Day landing. How many Americans lost their lives? How much blood was spilled on the beaches of Normandy trying to get these guys freedom back for them? How many lives, how much American blood was shed? How much American treasure did we spend liberating France? Yeah, they helped us out once upon a time. I think we paid for that twice over in WW1 and WW2. And you know, guys, we've covered these guys so much. And back in the Cold War, we used to worry about it because the French were always fickle. So we had this notion, and I'm not saying there ain't some great Frenchmen, there's great people in every country, guys. But why are we paying for this? Why are we taking care of us? Why are we the ones chopping up and coughing up all this money when these guys are just going to be so fickle over here. He wants his own little empire. He wants to be a little Napoleon. Well, yeah, of course, maybe he's got the same complex that Napoleon had. Maybe that's it. Well, he's not even popular amongst his own people. I'll be honest. So, I got to stand. I think some of the Frenchmen are right about that, because his popularity is somewhat less than spectacular. My poor beta bee rooster got eaten. Oh no, we don't even know of the lives. Yeah, exactly. Hey Arnold, how you doing? I'm sorry to hear about your rooster. That's sad. Greg, do you know anything about the 70 million guineas that were sent away from the city? Oh, I don't. 70 million. Well, I don't know, Jeffrey. Maybe you can share something with 70 million. All right, guys. So this is that's a lot of people. That's a whole lot. All right, guys. So this is here's the deal. Not only did my granddad get it, oh yeah, my granddad finally got a mule kicked him, and it might not have bothered him too much otherwise, but since his back was already messed up, he was crippled for life from then on out. And his kids had to bear the farm. My dad, as a young kid, had to really do the yeoman's work of farming. He was the oldest boy. My dad went over and fought World War II. In World War II, my dad on his third training mission, third training jump as a paratrooper, found that they were on a combat mission. It was supposed to be a training flight. They were dropped into France. And let me tell you what, he said, when the light come on to jump, you never seen such a plane load of sick men in your life. He came very close to losing his life on multiple occasions. He got captured twice by the Germans and escaped. And once was at the Battle of Bulge. And typically at the Battle of Bulge, when the Germans captured Americans, they mowed them down. My dad wouldn't talk about that. So I imagine my dad used to be a really good runner. And I imagine that's the only reason he survived. He did talk about one of the occasions where he got captured. He escaped when some I believe it was Mustang, some kind of American fighter aircraft strafed the position where he was at, and while they were getting strafed, he jumped up and run in the middle of all the fire so he wouldn't be held captured. My dad got 3 Bronze Stars in World War II. And one occasion, he was in a truck, an Army truck, and it got shelled by a German artillery shell. Unfortunately, the shell was a dud. That's the only reason it's alive, but it hit the truck so hard it knocked it careening, and it threw him out the door. And he wasn't the driver. He said when he went out the door, he said that front tire was coming right at him, and he rolled. He had a broke his shoulder. He rolled to try to avoid being hit by that front tire, and he said it pulled off his helmet liner. He nearly got ran over by it. It was that close. Not his helmet liner. His helmet was pulled off from the liner. So my dad had a number of close calls, like jumping over a wall once and having everything blow up behind the wall just after he jumped over it. Too many close calls. And there's a lot of the guys that just didn't make it back. That's why we have Memorial Day here. That's why we celebrate Memorial Days, to honor those that didn't make it back. And, my dad once was supposed to get on a flight. He was late for it. He was supposed to be passenger 13. It was flight number 13. He got there just a little bit late and he missed the flight. He said the plane took off and crashed on the runway and caught fire. And he said everybody on the plane burned. He said you could hear him screaming. It was a horrible thing. Hear all these guys. It was his friends and comrades he was supposed to be jumping at with screaming because they were being burned alive. None of them survived. War is not a pretty thing, guys. And this is what we risk to keep these guys free. And now they just want to do whatever fickle thing they want to do, but they want us to pipe up and pay still today for their defense. So why are we doing it? Europe has collectively a bigger economy than America. They got collectively more manpower. Why can't they take care of their own backyard? Why are we over there doing it? I'll tell you what, if I was president of the United States, I would pull out of NATO so fast, I wouldn't even negotiate. I'd just pull out so fast, his head would spin so hard, it'd jerk his rear end off, make his tail feathers fall off. Little Benny Rooster. I'm sorry, I'm doing a disservice to Benny Roosters. We had Bennies when I was a kid. I loved the Benny chickens. Later on, I got game chickens, though, and they were fighters. Anyway, yeehaw. For those that don't know, there's a shh. I'm not supposed to talk about this. Shh, there's a secret Chinese spy base going into Cuba. Bet you didn't know that, did you? Because it's secret, right? It's just been all over the news for the past couple of days, right? Anyway, Wisconsin has better cheddar than France. Amen. Silver Sacks, Lone Star Mama. I was thinking the Cuban Missile Crisis. Oh, Okay. The firefighters installing sprinkler systems in my community. Oh, Lord, darn, is it that bad? You have to tell us more about what's going on there in a little bit. Hey, we got, oh, did I see Chewy Weather in the house? Maybe go back up. Is Chewy with us tonight? Thought I saw him. There he is. Yes, Chewy Weather. How you doing, Chewy? Chewy's had a tough time, guys. Y'all need to keep him in your prayers. Y'all need to keep him in your prayers, folks. Anyway, cheesy ping. All righty. So, guys, zip right over my head. Okay, Lone Star. Weird gust of wind out of nowhere. Oh, Kung Fu grasshopper. Kung Fu grasshopper. They've probably been there for yeah, there you go. So, guys, yeah, they may have. But why are they paying so much money? Was it like $2 billion they're paying to Cuba? Now, you know, they got tons of people here in America already, you know, in our college campuses and our companies, buying land next to military bases. I mean, it's not like they don't already have a lot of eyes and ears and Chinese spy balloons to fly over. So why are they going to pay $2 billion to Cuba? Maybe it's more than just a spy base. And look what happened here. Look what's been said here. After initially calling the reports inaccurate, an official says this is from the Biden administration, says the administration has inherited the problem. Now they're trying to blame it on Trump or somebody else. Everything they blame on Trump, right? Inherited the problem. They act like it wasn't even there. You know, so this isn't true first. You know, they tried to sweep it under the rug, and then once they had to admit it, then they try to point blame somewhere else. Can't own anything, right? Wow. You know, maybe it's because they want to send that Blinken, Blinken, not that Blinken, but Blinken, yeah, the Blinken Secretary of State Blinken over to China now. They've since the balloon incident's got a few months under the belt. They think they have to finally send them over there. Then this comes out. I guess he's still going over because he's going to negotiate love and understanding and hugs and kisses with Xi Jinping, I suppose. I don't know what that's all about. Lincoln's such a great Secretary of State. Almost the entire world has turned against us since he's taken office. So what business is he as Secretary of State? Oh, yeah, he did finance a lot of cover-up, shall we say. Yikes, guys. I don't know. Anywho, but we're rocking through this news pretty fast here. Well, now, why does everything over there matter? Unlike Europe, I don't know what we're getting out of Europe, but Volvos and Mercedes-Benz overpriced, Beamers, overpriced vehicles that require a lot of expensive maintenance. I don't know why anybody buys that junk. I wouldn't have it myself. Stock it up on old carbureted cars for the MP. Luke, that's a smart move. Keep those ICE engines, internal combustion engines, instead of. All righty, guys. The microchip industry would implode if China invaded Taiwan. Well, don't we know that? You know, because why? Because there's something like 90% of the chips are made in Taiwan, and something like it's what? No, it's 60% of the total chips are made in Taiwan, but 90% of the real small, high-powered ones are like, you know, less than 3 microns and going less. Now, supposedly they're building a factory in Arizona, but it's not going to be at the same level the one it's in Taiwan. So Taiwan still wants to maintain the edge in the microchip industry. But so you got to keep in mind survival living. How you doing, survival living? Stray kittens in the house. Very good. So guys, this is going to be a huge economic impact on us. If even what I think China's going to do first is just put a blockade around Taiwan, and they'll probably have a blockade around them for a while. So, you know, maybe the United States will put a counter blockade up. Who knows what's going to happen, how that'll play out. But there's all kind of potential for mayhem in the Far East over there. So, guys, you know, we shouldn't get ourselves so reliant on a place that somebody else wants to invade so bad. Green Greg's for president. There you go, Luco. Boy, I don't know if I'd want it, I tell you. But then again, they say you shouldn't elect anybody that wants the job. Yikes. Yeah, I would make some changes, guys. A lot of changes. But anywho, if I could. So there's other news in the world. Super volcano in Italy that hasn't erupted since 1538. Now this is called a super volcano. It's a major volcano, but this thing, would take out Naples, right? Now when they talk about Italy and they show an Iceland lava field, I don't know what's this all about. CBS, what's wrong with you guys? Showing the Iceland lava field talking about the Campi Flegrei volcano near the city of Naples. Naples is a huge city. It's grown like crazy. This would be catastrophic when this thing eventually does go off, and it will. And like Chewy's pointed out to us recently, I believe it's Chewy, that there is a lot of activity in Mount Hood right now. Mount Hood may go off. There's some other volcanoes in our west that are highly suspect of being near to eruption. We have 2 chip plants right now where I live. Okay, Chewy, but they're not the level that the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Corporation are operating at. They produce the real high-end stuff, but we need to get less reliant on other places and more self-reliant here. That's what we need to do. So Italy may be for a heck of a catastrophe, my friends. So that will really, if I was in Naples, I think I wouldn't want to be in Naples. Oh yeah, and by the way, I showed you a picture of this bomb right here when I was talking about the potential to have a small package for a Chinese spy balloon. Here's a guy parachuting with a nuke. Can you say slim pickings? Yeehaw! Yeah, special force guy parachuting with a nuke between his legs. Just where I'd want one, right? I don't know. Something about that, the idea of having a nuke there that just would make me think twice. Of course, if it did go off, you wouldn't know it. Restore our republic. There you go. In NM Condon. Hey, I got the Freedom Restoration Foundation, guys. Pay for it out of my pocket. All right. So Q hey, and Intel are 2, 1. No, okay. Hey, D Ladybug, thank you. Appreciate it. Salute, D Ladybug. Appreciate you too. All righty. So Silver Sacks, he's got something in the sacks. Lone Star Mama. Windy and raining in Houston, Texas. There was a bunch of storms headed this way, but they all just kind of petered out before they got here, which I'm not complaining about. Anyway, guys, who would want to do this? Well, that guy there did it. He jumped with a nuke right between his legs. Yeehaw. Well, that's what they were for. Tactical nuke. Alrighty, guys, the world is shaking. Look at all this activity. Holy guac and smoke-a-moly. That's a big one right there. They get a lot of big earthquakes right there on that plate. 5.8 right on the plate. That's a huge one. South Africa in that area, that's just north of South Africa. It might even be in what? Rhodesia. Let's see where it is. That's in South Africa, 5.0. This looks like a 5.0 up here. 5.2, Kuril Islands. Yeah, that's the islands or the dispute between China and Russia. Kuril Islands. So there's a lot of shaking going on all over the place. Now, Puerto Rico, man, look at all that around Puerto Rico, Turkey. Man, they're still going off in Turkey. So I'm going to home in a little bit on Puerto Rico. Look at that. Wow. From the Dominican Republic on over just past Puerto Rico. That area is always shaking hard. Man, they got a lot of earthquakes there in Colombia. Did y'all see my last video? If you hadn't watched my last video about the 4 kids that lived 40 days in the jungle of Colombia after the plane crash that terminated her mom and the pilot. These 4 kids, the oldest of which was a 13-year-old girl, and they even had a baby with them who was 11 months old when they crashed. The baby turned 1 by the time they were recovered. They survived. You need to watch that video. Could you survive in the jungle? Maybe we should talk about that some more. I'll tell you what, guys, all this survival and talks of war makes me think I want to keep my immune system up. Here's another deal you can consider. Yeah, these are not cheap, but guys, they're very powerful. It's about the most powerful antioxidant you can imagine. This carbon C60 just keeps on antioxidizing. It can take up to 8 ions in each molecule, which is a very powerful antioxidant. Let me just show you real fast. I'm gonna stop the share for a minute here, guys. Bing, bing, bing. This stuff. I mean, this one's avocado oil. And you can get, if you go to shopc60.com, you can get 10% off if you put Greg 10 in your code. So at least you can get a little bit back. And then we got cinnamon. I call it cinnamon because that's what the minions called it, right? But you know what? They've also got these gummies. I think I'm gonna hit a gummy tonight. So now they got 6 carbs on them, but I do low carb. I've had so few carbs a day, none, except maybe for a little bit of cocktail sauce I had earlier. So some of these gummies, I'm gonna, rather than fight the tear them, I'm gonna score it with my knife. Notice I pronounced the K. Rip it open. Get open enough. These gummies are great. They're cherry. They're tart. Yeah, get C60. There you go. Discount grow. Hey, everybody. Yeah, if more of you would post a lot more of my content, like new days, it really helped my channel. Your mod, it would really help if you'd post stuff. Samuel Turner. Samuel Turner is a great supporter of this channel. Greg, would you please consider putting out a blurb like video later tonight, a few hours ahead? Well, I'm okay. I'm always struggling to try to get this content. A lot of times I think I'm going to do a video and I don't make it. I put hours into producing this stuff, and sometimes it's so late when I get down, I can't do it. So it's a kind of a roll of the dice. I've been pretty good about it lately. And I got on here earlier tonight. Look at this thing, guys. Believe it or not, it's only 6 carbs. Looks like it'd be more. It looks like a candy, and it tastes a lot like one. Only candies I'll eat, because I'm not a candy guy. Woo! It is tart. But it's good. It's actually very tasty. Believe it or not. Tart cherry gummies. These are sugar-free. Oh. Let me check out. Maybe it's only 6 carbs. Woo-wee! Tart. Anyway, we'll go back and share again here in a minute. Share screen. Bing, 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 bing. Yeah, and do the shopc60.com. Use discount code Greg10. Now, some of you ain't buying from them. They won't send me any more of this stuff. So I hope some of you guys are buying from them. Whoops, I don't want this thing to play. Stop playing. Box business. I hate that they always got to open up with a video. I hate that. And you scroll, try to get from the video, and it pops up down here. That's what I don't like about Fox News. Guys, this guy right here, Larry Fink, man. Rat Fink. I mean, Larry Fink. Yeah, Rat Fink. So in this video, he was admitting that his firm would force behaviors on the companies that they've invested in. BlackRock has heavy investments in so many companies. It's not funny. Thank you, New Days. Look at all the stuff New Days is sharing with us, guys. No, I don't rush to the toilet, follow him. I don't send me running to the toilet. Believe it or not. Because if it did, I'd be up there. Samuel Turner, thank you, sir. Wow, thank you. Wow, appreciate that. Yahoo! All righty, Samuel Turner. Oh, I've only been here 39 minutes. So, guys, I've got some stuff to share here that's a little bit on the political, social spectrum. It's only a few videos. Should I share them on here, or should we go to Swivelhead News? Because it's a little bit on the political side, but it's kind of in keeping with the video I just posted about the Cold Civil War. I guess I could do them here. I've not been going that long here tonight, but you know, sometimes you're better off to keep your videos short. So y'all think we should switch to Swivelhead News or stay on board here? Y'all tell me. Give me a vote real quick. I'll leave it to y'all. Give me a vote. Stay here, because I lose about oh, 3/4 of my audience when I switch channels. I've been noticing that. But I need to do some reports on Swivelhead News too. I'm eating Reese cups and drinking a Mountain Dew. Oh my goodness, you're getting a sugar rush. I love those Reese cups. So hey, I tell you what's good with a Mountain Dew, a Butterfinger. But I haven't ate that in years and years and years and years. Lehman's is a powerful preparedness store in Amish country in Ohio. Exactly, guys. Lehman Brothers is awesome. Y'all need to check them out. It's good for your homestead. And all you guys need to be gardening the homestead. New Day says stay here. Stay. All right, give me one more stay. All right, here, follow him. All right, 3 out of 3. Oh, we had a swivel. One voted for swivel. All right, so 3 out of 4 says stay. Get the news out. Well, I'm pretty much about to get the news out. We're about done with it here. Thank you, General Washington. Oh, well, we need to thank General Washington. We wouldn't have a country. All right, we got a lot of stay, so we'll stay here. All right, New Days, thanks for sharing that. You need seeds, guys. Get your seeds and then go over that New Days show there. I got Eden Brothers and Tree Leaf Market. Get your seeds, then go over to Lehman Brothers and get you some tools to put them seeds in the ground and keep your garden prepared. That was good. All righty, guys. And we'll go over here into the cold Civil War news, guys. Bank of Un-America. Banking giant accused of going, what? And who's driving that? Mr. Ratfink over here. He's driving it with a lot of companies. A lot of the stuff you see, like Cracker Barrel recently, some of the stuff Cracker Barrel. So you got these companies whose customer base tends to be on the very conservative side of the spectrum, and they're taking stands on the different side. You see how that worked for Bud Light? Not too well, right? But you know, Tractor Supply went that way. So I don't promote Tractor Supply anymore. I had an affiliate marketing relationship with them. You don't hear me talking about them anymore. Because Tractor Supply supported some kind of story hour that I don't even want to talk about on this channel. Now, that would be a topic for Rumble, not even for talking about on here. Anyway, guys, look at this. I just talked about this group last night. The Southern Poverty Law Center, and how they were targeting Christian groups, people that don't want delinquency of minors, promoted, who don't want little kids talked about, have schools thrust adult topics down their throat and try to convince these kids to go to the butcher shop and have life inalterable things done to them. I got to be careful what I say on here. Bye-bye, Cracker Barrel. There you go. Pectin. Yeah, pectin is good. Potassium iodine and pectin. You consider that for nuclear radiation, both of them. And we know about pectin thanks to the Russians, because that's what they were feeding people, the kids, after Chernobyl. But to inoculate teens against extremism. What's extremism? Telling them that, they are what they're born to be. That's extremism, according to these guys. The Department of Homeland Insecurity. Y'all. And what administration? Yeah, guys. So, yeah, so they talk hate and extremism. And who are they accusing that? Moms for Liberty. They say Moms for Liberty is an extremist hate group. Wow. Y'all think so? What do y'all think? Yeah, y'all buying what the Department of Homeland Insecurity is putting down? I don't know, guys. $750,000 to indoctrinate. Yeah, talk about inoculate. That's about indoctrinate, right? Oh. And then furthermore, so I can be in a lot of trouble for talking this because Biden wants YouTube to take down videos, maybe take down channels that don't quite agree with everything they say. No more freedom of speech. Whoa, weirdos out killing the economy. That's a yeah. Chewy weather. Yeah, I think you hit it. It's these guys right here, bang, and these guys right here don't seem to be much better, do they? What do you think? What do y'all think? I don't know. I'm just a worm farmer. I'm a worm herder. What can I say? I don't know nothing about this stuff. I'm just a worm herder and a rocket scientist, by the way. But hey, that's just a whole nother thing. Anyway, wow, guys. Hey, there you go. New Day shared our link on Facebook and MeWe. So if you want to join the Freedom Restoration Foundation, go to one of those places and sign up with those groups. We don't know how long the Facebook will allow us to stay on there. That's why we got the MeWe group. Put the W in weirdos. Hey, but they tell us that only people on they only got to worry about people on the right. That's what the Department of Homeland Insecurity and IBF, flip that around like Nug, right? IBF, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you got a Betsy Ross flag, you're a potential terrorist. But what about this guy? Nah, they don't talk about people like him, do they? Well, he kicked a bucket today at 81. Ted Kaczynski kicked the bucket today. The Yeni bomber. Wow. Oh, but now here's another thing, the IBF. See the IBF here? IBF. Another thing that they tried to sweep under the rug was that Mr. Brandon here was referred to as the big guy by who? Who? I don't even want to say it on here. Too dangerous, man. This is dangerous topic stuff, but the big guy. Yeah, and what kind of money moved? No, there wasn't no money. No. It took an informant to break this to us because IBF didn't want you to know, apparently, because they all their prosecutions. I don't know. It seems, is it one-sided or is it my imagination? It must be my imagination. What do you think? What do y'all think? You need somber. Silver Sacks. So being a new subscriber, what led you from rocket science to worm farming? Oh, that's a good question. It was the whole idea of being able to be independent on my own 2 feet, on my own 2 acres, and be able to make some money. But I got too involved in too many things. I got too spread out, unfortunately. And I'm still keeping my day job. And I thought I could hire people to do it, help run it for me. And I discovered that's a huge problem. So in the future, I say, hey, do what you can do on your own without having to bring in labor these days, because labor is wage grade labor these days is it's a huge problem. It's a huge problem. Anyway, guys, but look at this. And this is what the IBF is after. This is what the Department of Just Us is after. 400 years, $9 million fine. Now, Trump could pay that, but I don't know about the 400 years. This is probably going to make some people get a little twisted out of shape. Well, it might be Lone Star Mama, but that's going to be a very, maybe he had it coming. But what about the other people that have gotten away with this and they're not? See, everything's focused in one direction. Biden also had tons of documents in his garage, and he never really had the legal kind of access to them that way. He was only a VP when he did that. But nobody talking about that hardly for some strange reason. So maybe they should sweep them all under the rug. I don't know, guys. What do y'all think? So where's the rest of this article? Justice Department tried to stop us from getting records on government censorship efforts. Well, me talking about this might get me in all kind of trouble because they want to shut down people that tell you this stuff. Deplatformed. It's no coincidence that who overwhelmingly gets deplatformed, shadow banned, fact checked. Guys, I got people on my channel who don't get any notifications, like Wiseow. And she's such a loyal supporter. She's in there every time she can be. She even put a lot of money out of her own pocket to set up this right here, survivaltribenetwork.com. I'm supposed to be on with him Monday, but you know, I think it's going to be Monday, 10 Mountain Time, 11 my time. But I sent him a bunch of literature, and he didn't really respond to that. I asked him if he got what I sent him, and he hadn't responded. So I hope he got it. Mr. Green Jeans, how you doing, buddy? 192 and only 105 likes. Yeah, you got that right now. It's up to 196 watching and 115 likes. Guys, because of all that shadow banning, which has been proven from the TikTok stuff, TikTok blew it open. Not TikTok. Twitter blew it open, not TikTok. TikTok belongs to Xi Jinping, more or less. EMP, there's one of my videos. There you go, guys. Watch how to protect your stuff, your home and auto, with Arthur Bradley, interview I did with him. All right, guys. And hey, New Days is really on top of things, sharing a lot of my stuff. I appreciate some of you other mods could go to my channel and grab some stuff and toss it in here for people to see. New Days gets the gold star. I donated from, what's that, follow him? Arthur Bradley. Love me TikTok. TikTok. Remember that from Hook? What was that movie with where Robin Williams played Peter Pan? Anyway, that was a funny movie, wasn't it? Anywho, guys, things are shaking. Don't forget, you can come over here and you can shake back if you go to the Freedom Restoration Foundation. And New Day shared with you guys the Facebook group. And this is not a membership society you pay to join. Some of us are paying for this stuff out of our pocket. I'm paying for this. I set this website up. I need a new webmaster. I don't have time to maintain the alerts on here. I just don't have time, guys. But we had a webmaster, and he unfortunately passed away on us. These alerts need to be updated. So the kind of stuff we put in these alerts, they're actually not that difficult to do. I just need somebody that's got some time to do it. So if anybody can volunteer for that, let me know. But if you scroll down to the bottom of this page, oh, that's our main page. Who said the right arm bearers can't be pretty? All righty. Some of the stuff that some of the many things we support, as you can see, the kind of things that we've took on. A lot of alerts we put out over the past many months. So guys, go in here. This is the home page. Click the Action Center page. And if you scroll down here past alerts again, it will take you to all kind of instructions as to find out who your state and federal representatives are, how to contact them, how to call them, how to email them, how to track bills in your state level, in your state house, in the federal House of Representatives, in the federal Congress. And tells you about emailing and calling and writing, what to say on the phone. And here's again a recap of all these great websites, guys, at the bottom. Then again, we kind of go back into this good stuff. So pay attention to it. We need some freedom in this country. And I've already had impact on a bill that's before Congress right now. My summary to my executive summary to my 44-page white paper on the Chinese balloon threat has been credited by none other than Senator Ron Johnson as having been a key reason that they developed this piece of legislation in the Senate. So I'm having an impact already. And that means that we can have some change for the good in this country. Now, we need to go a lot farther than this. I'm going to do a video really soon about what really needs to be done to stop the balloon threat. This is kind of a little bit of a start, but it don't get us where we need to be. So I will be covering that really soon. Maybe we can talk about it on Arnold's, not Arnold's, on Canadian Preppers channel soon. So do come to my channel here if you've not looked at it already. I got a lot of great videos. This is the EMP balloon attack video that's talking about. This goes into great detail about the EMP threat. You better check out this video on how to survive an EMP. Now this is old. If I update this page, all that's going to slew to the right and you're going to see my latest video. So you got to click this right arrow now if you come into my main page and look for this stuff, because I have not updated this page in a while. So if I hit the update button, you'll see my more recent videos on here. There we are live right now. Bing, 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 bing. Here's the video on can you survive in a jungle? Here I'm holding up a guide you need to put in your pocket or your bug out bag or just a computer bag you carry with you every day as a guide to wild edibles and such. You need stuff like that. Or watch my channel and go out and practice harvesting them. And New Days knows all about what to get. She's been all over that. Founding families died for our liberty. Honor them. There you go. So let's look on in here. And here's, I'm talking about a cold civil war here. Talking about the division in our country. Here I've talked about the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant and why this really is a problem. And hopefully the wise heads will figure out a way to fix it. And here's a video I did with none other than Steve Poplar. This is a real good video. Steve Poplar is a really good down-to-earth guy. I like this guy. You can see that stuff slewed to the right like I said it would. Hey, this is the only video I out of over, what, 1,400, how many videos I got on here? 1,400. So this is the only video you're going to see me in a suit on this channel because this is a serious topic. It needs to be shared. If y'all haven't shared this video, copy the link to it and go to Freedom Restoration Foundation and email it to your Congress critters and say, we need to do something about this. And pretty soon I'll show you what can be done. Oh yeah, there's my most popular video. You should be raising worms, guys. Watch that video if you've not seen it. It's only had a little over 500,000 views. Yeah, that's my single most popular video on this channel. But let's see. So do that, guys. Check it out. But what you really need to watch, if you haven't watched it already, this has only got 3,600 views on it. Why in the world has only got that? Everybody needs to know how to survive a nuclear war. I go in here and tell you all about and describe the different forms of radiation, what they really are. Stray kitten, they're going to have to do something. Will an EMP stop a pacemaker? It's a good question. Depends on how much of that E1 waveform you absorb. Hey, thank you, C. Shelley. Wow, that is mighty nice of you. Woo! 30 buckaroonies from C. Shelley. Awesome. She sells sea cells by the seashore. Say that 6 times fast. C. Shelley. There's some of the song for that. She Shelley. All right, guys. So you need to watch these 2 videos. There's part 1 and part 2 that go hand in hand. Survived from my ex-girlfriend. I can survive about anything now, says 76-2. Wow, that's a funny one. Steve's a good man. He is a good man. So filter and sanitize water. Now that is a video you really need to watch, guys, and that's down here. Water is the most important thing. I show many methods in here to filter and sanitize water. I've seen channels that only showed you one, and they got millions of views, and I get 11,000. That is one of my better videos, though. So you need to watch that. Why you need a survival tribe. Why most preppers will perish. Okay. Winter wilds. This is about wild edibles. I got a bunch of wild edible videos in here, guys. Tons of grid bound videos. I show you how to grow microgreens. I show you aquaponics and gardening and all kind of stuff in here. Ring Greg's growing garden. Here's videos about setting up your garden beds. And most of the time that's what I start with. That might be kind of boring for most people. That's the most important thing to know and understand. I even did a few fun videos once upon a time. So check them out, guys. Check them out. Check them out. Watch these videos. And here's Stacy Zavicki. And I did chat with her recently. She's doing okay. She injured her back real bad, so she's not able. She's still farming some, but she can't do it the way she did. She's having to cut the CSA. So her homestead is going to be up for sale pretty soon. You might want to go up there and buy her homestead if you can get it. She is going to be going north up to the wilderness. She's going to bug out for sure, guys, for real, a real bug out. It's got 173 in the room. That's very good. Restore Our Republic. Yeah, okay. I haven't seen that. I have to check him out. But do come in here to freedomrestorationfoundation.org. I made a mistake in my jungle video. I was trying to refer to this and I called it survivalnetwork.org. No, it's survival network, survivaltribenetwork.com. I said it totally wrong. Survivaltribenetwork.com. Canada looks like Vietnam when he came and lit it up. Oh, old town. All your videos are very informative. Thank you, Jeff. I try to be informative. Hey, Big Worm, how you doing, buddy? I'm going to bet on Ted's ashes. What are you going to do with them if you get them? Wow. This could be the biblical prophecy unfolding so the in-tune wise folk understand that you will see signs in the heavens and in the air. So this is one contribution to the biblical prophecy. Alrighty, guys. So we can go in here talking about biblical. Let's see what's going on with the weather. Pretty mild across most of the country right now, temperature-wise. 82 in Phoenix and Las Vegas as usual. Almoroso 53. Let's go up to Maine. See what it's looking like in Maine. Bing, 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 bing. The 40s. Holton is 50 though. Caribou is 48. I think Caribou, I tend to think of Alaska, but they got moose and all kind of stuff up in Maine, just like Alaska. Big Rapids, 61. Grand Rapids, I've been there. I drove from here to here one day after the tornadoes hit here back in, it was 89. We had a major tornado wiped out Airport Road in Huntsville. I was up here at that time. Drove across the state and it was like 7 inches of snow. They didn't have much snow the winter before, and I counted 70 cars and Michigan license plates off the side of the road, and this old Alabama boy just kept going. But there's a reason why this old Alabama boy kept going to snow. It's because this old Alabama boy lived 2 years driving on ice, where it's very nice, way up here above this, way up north to Alaska, go north the Russia zone. Yes, sir. I was right up in here, right next to Delta Junction, Fort Greely. Right here, you can see the Alaska Range right here. Mount Deborah, Mount Hayes, beautiful mountains to our south. But thanks to the curvature of Earth, you couldn't see Denali unless you got in the air and got higher. Then you could see it real nice, even over Fort Greely, but you couldn't see it on the ground. Curvature of the Earth, in case y'all don't know about it. All righty, folks. Let's look over here in Arnold's territory. This don't show smoke. I don't have a smoke map on here. Maybe I got to figure out to get a link for a smoke map. Foraging forest food, winter wilds. Thanks for sharing that. Alrighty, guys. New Days is rocking with stuff y'all need to be watching. She's putting the links in here. Slave Lake, 66. Grand Prairie, 66. Fort McMurray, 66. Peace River, 68. And I've had the pleasure of driving down to Dawson, driving through British Columbia, Fort Nelson down through here, and then turning back into British Columbia. Went down the Fraser River Canyon into Vancouver. The Fraser River Canyon is beautiful. Or it was. Maybe all smoky now. I don't know. That was 4 decades ago. 4 decades ago, guys. All righty. San Jose, 59. Los Angeles is 62. Bakersfield, 77. Roswell, 75. Albuquerque. Don't take a wrong turn at Albuquerque. Now look here, Flagstaff is cooler than Alberta. Think about that, Arnold. Sholo's 59 and Holbrook is 70. Big temperature differential right there. Snowflake is right between them at 64. Well, that makes me curious. 64 and Snowflake. Let me see what it is over here where I'm at. Oh yeah, let's check out Waco, 79. Dallas and Fort Worth are both at 77. The whole area here is 77 degrees almost. Interesting. Planet Houston, 75. What's happening down in Muskville here? In the 80s, holy smoke. Down in Muskville, we want to launch the rockets. Nolens, 77. Homa, a lot of big boats get out of Homa. Fort Sulphur. Where was a place I took a boat out of here? C. Michael Cadillac. I rented it down here somewhere. Place even on the map. Yeah, it's not even showing up. The place might have drowned in the hurricane where I came out of that time. A lot of islands out here. I've seen these islands. I've been through them. Past Biloxi, 77. Pascagoula, 77. All right, let me zoom out. All right, who we got in here from other countries? Hey, Fort Payne or Fort Ain? I think you meant Fort Payne. All right, Beatrice, 75. Montgomery, 75. Sylacauga, 71. Warrior, 71. Aniana, that's an Indian name. New Hope, 73. Hazel Green, 73. It is warmer here, 9 degrees warmer than it is in Snowflake. Ardmore, 73. So I guess all this is 73 right. Elkmont, 71. Alrighty, guys. That is, I'm up in this area. Skyline. Somebody said there was Fort Payne, Hollywood. Valley Head. There used to be stories of a bat tail monster. This is a, you got the Little River Canyon going through here, guys. Pretty Eider. Oh, Crossville, 71. Let's see. Getting close to Georgia. There you go. Fort Payne, 70. 70 in Fort Payne. 70 in Rome, Georgia. There's Rome, guys. Cave Springs. I had ancestors that lived in this area here. There's Cedartown. I used to have a great uncle that lived in Cedartown. But most of them were rural out here in the country. Blue Ridge, 64. Blue Ridge, Georgia. Georgia crackers. We used to always call people from Georgia Georgia crackers. Central Pennsylvania woods. All right, guys. How long have we been in the house here? 68 minutes. We probably ought to call it a night. Look at there. Give another 6 and Washington, D.C. would be the devil, right? So's Detroit. Put Detroit and Washington, D.C. together, you get a devil, right? Yikes, guys. Charlottesville, 66. All right. All right. What are the, all right. Greece has the best feta cheese. Well, they ought to. They really ought to. We got anybody from Australia in the house? Anybody from New Zealand? We had Norway in the house early on. Let's go to Norway. First, we'll stop by England. We'll get people from England. Where's Scratch at? Scratch is over here at 61, 60. I had a lot of ancestors that was in London at one time. I have a direct ancestor that ran the Tower of London. One of my direct ancestors. One of my direct ancestors was a primary coach driver for Queen Elizabeth I. Isn't that scary? There's rumors that some ancestors were related to the Stuart dynasty. And that's not worth anything today. I don't like royalty, to be honest. All right, looky here. Oslo's 59. Nice and cool there. 62 here, 64 there, 62. And then it starts dropping, going north into the 50s. We can go down and see what's going on in Ute country. 59 in Kiev. Moscow is 55. Sevastopol, 66, just like Washington, D.C. Yeah, let's put some turkey in the grease and have us a great fry, guys. Feta cheese on my buggers. Hey, I like feta cheese. I like feta cheese. And I put blue cheese in my scrambled eggs. Try blue cheese. Try some blue eggs. But feta cheese. Feta cheese is good. I like feta cheese in my salads. Ooh, look at that. We got some action here and here. Got some cyclones down here cooking, guys. All right, we got Australia in the house. We usually do. Nobody spoke up from us. Bottom line is the biblical prophecy speaks. 1/3 of the forest will be burned. Oh, yeah. But, you know, there's that prophecy things are getting flung from the sky. So are we there yet? Alice Springs, 75. Canberra, 53, the capital. Melbourne, 67. We're about to get into wintertime down there. Hobart, 55. Perth, 61. Sydney, 61. Well, different sides of the continent there. Similar temperatures. Let's go down south to New Zealand. Christchurch, 44. How do you pronounce that? Dunedin? I don't know. 43. Auckland, 55. New Plymouth, 52. And 48 in Wellington. Well, there you go, guys. Kind of been around the world now. Maybe God is sending us another sign in the environment so that we know the time is near. Maybe Mr. Cheddar Pepper Prepper. Well, ain't that a mouthful? When I was a baby, my mom used to rock me to sleep. When I was a baby, let's see, I can make a song of that almost. Wished I lived in Little Rock instead of Boulder. Oh, wow. Aged or fresh? Well, blue cheese has got to be aged. Burnt pine. That's that number. That name always fascinated me. You got a little island, they call it Burnt Pine. They must have had a forest fire there when they discovered that island. Christmas Island's out here somewhere. Too far out to see it. Christmas Island's over here, and Easter Island is back over towards South America. Where's Easter? Easter Island, somewhere out here. I'm too far up to see it, probably. Hangaroa. Adamstown. The Adams family. Well, I got some mild temperatures all around the world. Most of the world's in the 70s, 60s. Pretty mild because we're in that season transition. Buenos Aires, 43. All righty. I think we're done with the weather. We might as well look at space weather if I've got that tab open. I had it open last night. I think I closed it. Oh, well. Nothing to really be scared about in space weather right now. So let's stop the share here real quick. Bada bing, bada bang. Halo. All right. Carol Anderson question. Does Stacy Savicki still have a channel? I think she shut her channel down. She said, you know, she got tired of all the work and only making a few pennies. And really and truly, that's about what you get on YouTube, as long as you're, especially in these shadow banned channels. I talked to somebody recently who's got a channel about my size who makes 50 times more than I make. There's another YouTuber over somewhere, a similar channel, similar topics, but that one's not apparently shadow banned. So go figure, guys. Go figure. Smoked Gouda, okay. Velveeta is, but what is Velveeta? What is Velveeta made of? It don't spoil, not hardly. And what's Velveeta? Just compressed grease? I don't know. Careful now, the word's caught. Okay. Velveeta is not cheese, says Zen Jammin. That's what I'm saying, Zen Jammin. You're right. Leslie Greenfield. How you doing, Leslie? Where's Stan at? Planting sweet taters. There you go. New Days put planting sweet taters. And it's about time for some of y'all to do that. Good time to watch that video. Companion planting. That's another good one to watch right now, guys. Companion planting. I got all kind of gardening videos on my channel. I got wild edible videos. When I post these videos, the views tank these days. But I got tons of that stuff from older stuff. What you need to know about gardening, what you need to know about worm farming, what you need to know about wild edibles. I've covered that stuff. It's there. What do y'all think? Alrighty, guys, y'all can help me out a lot. I may one day be stuck, dried margarine. Yeah. We used to like to slice it and fry it though once upon a time. All righty. That's funny. So yeah, poor Stacy. She worked hard. Stacy's good people. Sammy Turner says 7-6. I have a pacemaker as well, and experts say you should be okay. My doctors assure me will be okay. I hope so. Yeah, it takes quite a waveform to hit you. You'll probably be okay. There's some risk, but you'll probably be okay. Be careful around microwaves. All right. That's what I can say. You'll probably be okay. Yeah, we're about to do our normals here. We kind of went around the world. We went around the weather, went around earthquakes. We covered all the news, and we're on here way too long already. Let's go back down the bottom. Arnold Smith, forgive me, I appear too pessimistic. The reality of the situation is fire department is at the very moment installing water sprinklers never home in my community. Wow. Based on the nuclear power plant. Well, the water, it's what I told you last time. The water levels dropped too low for the intakes. And so far, they haven't got a solution to it. So the biggest problem is the spent fuel rod pools. They have to be kept cool and are hot. If the water evaporates below the rods, they catch fire. And when they catch fire, all that radiation, there's tons more stuff, way more stuff in the spent fuel rod pools than there is in reactors. And reactors are held inside containment buildings. The spent fuel rod pools are out in the open. Not so good. And they got a war zone going on. So it's really hard for them to come up with good countermeasures with all the warfare going on. So there's a big risk there, huge risk. Manual grid down tools for homestead, for garden homestead and market garden. There you go. That's a good video, guys. I talk about manual tools. Manual tools is what you need because manual tools operate without electricity. The only electricity you need for a manual tool is electricity firing the neurons between your brain and your muscles when you pull that implement through the ground. How long to make the rod? Those rods will stay hot for 5 to 7 years. No, they ain't got a near-term solution. Not at all. They're at risk for some time. And they're still kind of warm, but you can dry cast them once they're 5 to 7 years old, somewhere in that time frame. Pressurized water fire extinguisher. Yeah, that ain't gonna work there. A great preparedness item. Yeah, you need that for yourself. That's right. All righty. Let's see. Stray kitten. I was talking to a guy in line. Mentioned I need. Couldn't understand. Oh, Lordy. Caulk. Yeah, caulk is good for sealing cracks when you're about to paint something, right? All righty, guys. I think we've just about gone long enough. We'll do the prayer request, and we'll ask everybody where they're from. So Chewy Weather's in the house. Let's pray for Chewy Weather. Let's pray for Miss Mapley, who New Days has been taken care of. Let's pray for New Days because she's deferred medical procedures for herself that she really needed to look after Miss Mapley. So let's pray for both of them. We'll pray for, I don't see Granny Nana in the house. Let's pray for her and her granddaughter, Kaylee, who's not taking medicines, but she's got the big C word. And on that record, we should pray also for Randy Bly, the Blue Bottle Bunny Farm. Lone Star Mama, they need to be completely submerged. Yes, completely submerged, completely. And I don't think that water level's got far to drop over those spent fuel rod poles because they're running sprinkler water over them. And that's they probably have to do it because they got so much stuff packed in those pools. Those pools are overpacked, they're dense packed. And so I'm sure they're evaporating water really fast. So, all right, good night, 762. Appreciate you being here. Good night. Have a good sleep tonight. So, who else do we got a prayer request for? You know, look, we pray not because this is not a religious channel. I try not to take sides on matters of faith and belief. But I do believe in a greater creator, and I believe in the power of prayer. So now some of you may not believe in any kind of prayer, but a moment of silence is golden. So if your deal is to meditate, if your deal is to pray. We do this because we're family. Supposing the reactor is under control present with dam breach. The reactors have been shut down, but one of them is still pretty hot. It still could use cooling water, according to the IAEA. Now they're going to tell you everything's under control. They don't want people to panic. But those spent fuel rod pools have to have water replenished to them. There is no way around that. Lots of water has to be available. The intakes for the water are in the air right now. There is no water coming into the intakes from that cooling pond. That's a fact. So whatever else they try to tell you, and all this stuff you read in news media, to borrow a term from our British friends who don't speak English, they use the word rubbish. So we call it trash over here. World peace. That's definitely one to play for. Oh yeah, Big Worm. I heard that story about Vegas. Who knows? Yeah, they said they saw big 8 to 10 foot beings with big eyes. I saw that. I'm trying not to talk about this stuff too much on this channel. Because I did do a video. I've done videos on galactic Gregs talking about anti-gravity drives, how they can be done. But I've also did a video saying why I don't think those things are from up there. Could be wrong, but I really don't. Okay. Prayers, Chewy and Granny. There you go. God bless y'all. Stay safe and keep your heads on a swivel. That's right. I always say keep your eyeballs wide open and head on a swivel. You need to look and know what's going on around you. Situational awareness in these times is very important. Very important. The reason for it, you got to know that we got to prep, and you might have to know when you might need to bug out or what actions you got to take. Keep your gas tank at least half full. Keep water supplies. Have your water purification. Prayers for Trudy. Okay. I pray that the water and cool. Yeah, we need to pray that somebody figures out how to get water to those and can keep the water there. Or there's going to be some huge problems in Europe. We might get a little cesium 137 over here, but it could be a lot worse than Fukushima because if they can't control it, that stuff will be putting out stuff for a long time. You got more stuff there in those cooling pools. Fukushima always kept the cooling pools under control. They always had water put over them because they had the fire trucks that went in and took care of it. And those fire trucks didn't have so far to go, and the whole area wasn't out of power like this area. And it wasn't a war zone. There's a lot of complications there in the Ukraine right now. Oh, lordy. All right, guys. So let's do that. Hey, I only got 155 thumbs up still. We got 183 in the room. Guys, you know, this platform is being stomped by suppression. So we're being shadow banned here. So, but the algorithms do work. It's just they turn down the gain knob, but the algorithms still work. So I need all the help we can get here, guys. share my videos. What you need to do is share the videos. You need to hit the thumbs up. You need to go into the comment section and leave a comment. Comment on somebody else's comment. Give them other comments thumbs up or thumbs down. So have dialogue in the chat session. That helps the videos a lot. Share the videos far and wide. We got very important topics to cover here. These videos should be getting millions of views given the topics I cover. And nobody else covers these topics like I do, like on radiation, nuclear survival, topics on the threat of the Chinese balloon. I put months of work into that, months of work. That was a major production for me. And this channel suffered because I wasn't putting out as many videos. And that actually does make your channel suffer if you're not regular videos. So I'm trying to make up for it in the last few days. I'm trying to bring a lot of content on here. I'm way behind. There's a lot of stuff I want to cover. Some other videos I need to make. I'll try to make a couple tomorrow if I can pull it off. I share Greg's channel with my farmers at my farmers market. Hey, Zenjamin, thank you for that. There you go. Appreciate that. Very good. Good evening, greetings. All right, so y'all talking to each other. That's what y'all need to do. We're a community. Talk to each other, folks. Leave each other comments. We're a family here. All right, guys. We're going to do this little prayer session because we're family. We're praying for each other here and friends and family in the whole world. Marvin Fun Time. Thumbs up at 29. Thank you for that, Marvin Fun Time. I'm always thinking Marvin Furniture when I say Marvin Fun Time. It's big furniture outfit in this area. What is cooking here? Somebody is emailing me at this time, which is kind of odd. Ah. What the heck? What is this? Oh yeah, I got an interview today. I almost forgot about that. Ooh, I got an interview with a radio channel today. Man, you think I checked this? I almost forgot about it. I'm glad they sent me that link. Yeah, I got a radio interview on the balloon threat on a channel that's called in this channel, We the People Radio, wethepeopleradio.us. And I will be interviewing with them from 12 to 2. 12 to 2 tomorrow, 12 to 2. If space aliens taste like bacon, they will be an endangered species very quickly. Lordy, they probably taste like frogs. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Like frog legs. I don't know. I think they're nasty. Or demonic. Yeah, I think that the closest analogy we could have for what we see would be somewhere in the spectrum of angels and demons, guys. That's just my take on it. If you read the Bible, the angels had physicality. They could walk among you and you wouldn't know they were not another human being. All right, folks, let's say our little prayers here. Where to listen to the radio show? Okay, let me put that out again. It is www.wethepeople.us. I don't know if it's going to be live or not. No, it says live. So it should be a live show. Let me see if I can copy that. It says live show. Now that is Pacific time. 12 to 2 Pacific time. So that'll be 2 to 4 my time, which would be 3 to 5 Eastern time, or 1 to 3 Mountain time. Let me see if I can find our chat room on this computer. Give me a minute, one momentum, please. As Lily Tomlin used to say, oh, why can't I find our chat room? Too many things open. Got to close some of these things here. Too many things open. Let's see what I'm looking for. There we are. Where's our chat session at on here? Yeah, there it is. iHeartRadio, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. There's the website, guys. Check it out. All right, guys, let's do our family thing. Let's say our little prayer. I'm not eating leather Cheerio. Oh my gosh. Now they say, we always thought Cheerios were so good. We gave it to our kids because it wasn't loaded with sugar, but now they're saying even Cheerios have got issues. May God continue to bless you and keep you safe. Well, thank you there, Arnold. All right, angels walk among us. Yes, they do. They look like me and look like you. A little poem. There you go. There you go. That's good, New Days. All righty, folks, let's say our prayer. Angels and demons walk amongst us. Hey, yeah. I think some are demons hold political office. Or they're in our agencies. All right, guys, let's say some prayers. This world needs a lot of praying. So let's say, Redneck Prepper. Hey, good to see you in here tonight. Say a little prayer. Amen. Wow, Mr. Cheddar Purpose. Have you noticed demon is the middle of wow. All righty. Amen. Well, you know how Israel got the name Israel, wrestled with an angel. All right, guys. Whoo-wee is Ra'el. El is the Semitic term for God. That's why so many names in El, like Michael. Prayers and thoughts of love from Tony, New Zealand. I'm in Tony, Alabama. Tony Walker. All righty. So, all right, everybody, we're about to go. Tell us where you're from. Old Town, talking all those blessings from Alabama. Hey, roll tide. Wish you might be an Auburn fan. All right, everybody, tell us where you're from. This world is ruled by Satan. That's right. And can't we tell it? Can't we tell it? Cheerios is your favorite cereal. That's cool, Stray Kid. All right, everybody. Where are you from? Tony, Alabama, right here. Maybe soon to be somewhere else. I spent Redneck Preppers in Arkansas. Fort Drum, New York. Hey, we almost relocated the Regis Test Center to Fort Drum from Fort Greely, Alaska. They're still in Fort Greely, Alaska. You know, they shut the base down for a little while, but they still got the co-regions test. Mississippi, Pennsylvania, Colorado, Silver Sacks, Arkansas, Cheddar Pepper Prepper. All right, Northern California, Marvin Fun Time. Lizzie made me dizzy. Frog Hop, Texas. I love that. Frog Hop, Texas. Cleveland, West Virginia. Fort Wayne, Indiana, Old Town. All right, forgive me, Old Town, for not saying 3MM. Lone Star. I'm from Corpus Christi, but reside in Houston, Texas. I got a daughter that lives in Spring, Texas, just north of you. All righty. Is that all we're getting? Hey, guys, give some thumbs up. The watcher crowd is coming. Southern Colorado. All right, Zen Jamming, good to see you. Do we have Ace Lee in the house? I haven't seen Ace Lee tonight. Ace Lee comes to us from, I think, Singapore. He's lived in Huntsville, Alabama. All righty, folks. Not far from me. Okay, Lone Star. So, guys, y'all need to go into survivaltribenetwork.com and find people that live in your area and form you some survival tribes. Don't waste time. We may be running out of time, guys. Love that name and location. All righty. Frog Hop. That's a good one. Frog Hop. When I went in the Army, I got inducted. One of the guys asked me where he's from. He said, I'm from Bone Dry Road, Below Gourd, Alabama. I actually looked that up. It exists. Bone Dry Road, Below Gourd, Alabama. That's funny. Northern Maine, 2 miles from New Brunswick, Canada. Spiritually, psychological, physical preparedness. That's right. You got to be centered. Raleigh, North Carolina. That's good, Diamond says. It used to be a real beautiful town. It's grown so much. I don't know if it's still got that old charm it used to have. I remember Raleigh having these big trees, big branches across the street, ivy going on the buildings. Don't want to survive. Well, John Black, it might beat the alternative. It's not, if you perish, it's not going to be a fast thing. It's going to be a long, drawn out suffering. Yeah, I think you do want to survive if you can. All righty, folks. I think we've done enough tonight. We've been on for 96 minutes. And I think we've covered everything there is to be covered for tonight. Well, there's more stuff we could have done, but we've done plenty. So Sydney, Australia. We do have Australia in the house. All righty. Good to see that, Boban. Lincoln County, West Virginia. There's Lincoln County just north of me, and Tennessee. Forgive me for not saying hello earlier. My community on pre-evacuation notice. Oh, Lord. Arnold. I'm trying to move back to the country. There you go, Diamond. You really should. Everybody's get out of the city. Get out of the cities. Thank you for sharing the Survival Tribe Network New Days. I guess Wazall didn't get the notification again tonight. California, Sarasota, Florida. Well, that's cool, Carol. Sarasota, Florida. All righty. Well, folks, salute. Thank you, all you super chatters. There's some good super chats tonight. Really did. I want to thank you, mods. I especially thank New Days, man. She has been just posting so much stuff that really helps the channel out a lot, guys. So salute to New Days. Sent to Eastwood. Hubbardsville, Alabama. That's cool. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate that, Mad Chad. Welcome to the jungle. Yeah, it's a song almost, right? Good night, Greg. Yeah, I did a video on jungle survival. You need to watch that. I just talked about these kids that survive and asked if you can survive. Probably should have went further. All righty. Blackwater Prepper. How you doing? Anyway, once again, thank you, super chatters. Thank you, mods. And a special thank you to New Days. I want to thank everybody that gave me a thumbs up. I don't thank everybody for watching. Watching helps. Share my videos. Nothing you can do is just let the videos play while you do your chores, especially these long videos. You can listen to it in the background if you so choose. And a little bit, you can hit the rewind, let it play again. Different watch hours. Always faithful, bro. There you go, Redneck Prepper. Yeah. Thank you, Greg. Have a blessed weekend, everyone. Have a great interview tomorrow, Greg. Yeah, I almost forgot that. I'm glad I got that email. Tuck your feet in so the winds didn't come. Tickle your toes. Alrighty, guys. Thank you. That's what little puppies are for, right? Alrighty, folks. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all being here. Remember, we're family. Remember some things I always tell you guys. Don't be scared. Be prepared. Really, you need to get prepared. Seriously. Join the survivaltribenetwork.org, guys. And one thing I always like to tell you is there's good people in every corner, every hamlet, every town, shire, city of the world. Whatever race, color, creed, there's good people anywhere and everywhere. Unfortunately, we get played against each other, most unfortunately. So hopefully we can outgrow that and overcome that. But anyway, guys, and I always tell you, and I did a video some long time back about wearing rose-colored glasses to try to get you to understand everybody's got their own worldviews and how to reach out to other people. So in that spirit, I tell you, as light dispels dark, and I'm pointing my stage lights. You can see my hands lit up. A couple of stage lights on each side. Oh, look at it. Woo. So as light dispels dark, love dispels hate. Go shine your love light in the world. And that's my final note for tonight. With that, I say to one and all, a good night. Ho, 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 and Greg out.